Little helper, Father Winter's helper. We got all three of the helpers. A swarm of flies is weak to them all. I kind of want to start with the maw crawler. Yeah, I'm the most worried about the rotten little helper, so I want to swap him out. Don't want him throwing down a minefield for free. And then I think I'll go for Tornado Punch right away. Okay. I can decoy that, but he does have a decoy breaker with Ice Lance, so... The good news is my Timeless Mechanical Dragonling is lower, so when I decoy, he's going to attack first, and he's not going to break it. The bad news is all of his attacks are strong versus me. Oh, he doesn't have the decoy breaker. Why would you run Snowball? Huh. Okay, well, that's good. So, I think I should probably stay in on my Timeless Mechanical Dragonling till he's dead. I don't know if it's worth going for Time Bomb. Most of the time, you're better off just spamming Flame Breath unless there's like a real obvious, like you need Burst. So I think I'll just stay in. He'll probably kill my Timeless Mechanical Dragonling on this next round. I really don't want to let him get off another Ice Tomb. That would be not great. So I think I have to bring in the Maw Crawler. I can not kill him with a Tornado Punch, so I have to Death Grip him. I really don't want that Ice Tomb happening. Okay. Could go for Tornado Punch, but what if he swaps in this guy to eat it? I don't think he will. I might just have to eat the booby trap presence with my Renishu Runt. He's probably going to go for Grinch's Gift. I think my best bet is to stay in. I don't know. I might be screwed no matter what. I need some high rolls. Okay, that was a low roll. I need this high roll more than ever. Oh man, he's unlikely to die. Well, I think I just lose. Oh, I got the high end. I got the high roll. That means I still get a Death Grip and a Tornado Punch. I'm not going to be able to outlive this Booby Trap presence, but... Okay, so there's really no reason. Let me go for the Death Grip in case he's weird and swaps here. Okay, because there's no reason to like use Death Grip over that. This will still hit harder, even on a low end. Okay, let's go for the Tornado Punch. A stun would be huge. Nice. Okay, this is looking more and more winnable. That could still crit and win him the game, but if it doesn't, I think I win now. I think I lost without that stun, I'm pretty sure. I might still lose if he gets a crit. I have to land one attack on him. But he probably only has to land one on me. Okay, so that's going to hit me. He probably has Ice Lance. But Call Lightning is enough to kill him. Yeah, I definitely lost that without the stun. That was an RNG win. Not sure if I played that correctly. Because I set myself up to have the Renishu run as my cleanup pet, and that was not good because he's slower than all of them, except I think the Rotten Little Helper, and that's a speed tie, which isn't much better. Maybe, and also, like, I'm running Swarm of Flies, so the idea here is to use the Renishu run, throw out Swarm of Flies, and heal with your Humanoid Racial. But that's a little gimmicky, and uh, it does weak damage to him. I don't know. Maybe I played well and I just had a bad matchup. It's hard to say. I think if I'm queuing into that, Own Grinders would be a great team. Because I can counter the minefield. I have strong damage versus him. I don't think I'll get him again, but just in case, I'll play this team. It's a good classic team from back in the day. Don't have a lot of speed on it, but the synergy here is nice. You got a bleed with maul, got cleanup and grave destruction with a trap. Typically, graves will be your cleanup pet, so you have 2 corpses to consume. And the damage coverage is nice. You're weak to flyers with maul and bleed, but you have magic damage here, which is weak to mechanicals, which Thunderbolt is strong versus, which is weak to critters, but then of course you have your 2 beast damage type abilities here. There's something else going on here, but I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, so Snap Trap is strong versus beast, which your basic attack is weak to, so there are some glaring weaknesses here. You have really kind of a strong weakness to aquatics that isn't covered. You have low speed, but I'm more worried about the speed issue than the aquatics, because right now the problem with aquatics is you run into sandstorm like probably more than half your games, and it 2-shots like all aquatics. It just take it's already overtuned, and then they take extra damage from it, so it hits them for like 80% of their HP. So it's very risky to run aquatics. You'll almost never see an aquatic like do well, except ones that have like bubble, or maybe you can get away with running dive. You need something to avoid 1-shots like sandstorm. And even darkness is rough versus aquatics because a lot of darkness teams run nocturnal strike, or like the bone serpent with liftoff. So on top of that, there are not a lot of aquatic pets that are like super strong in PvP. And the ones that are okay, like the emperor crab. The emperor crab is a very scary pet if you don't have flying damage, but there's so much sandstorm, you almost never see an emperor crab, except for like on a random family brawler team, and yeah, they just get completely destroyed by sandstorm. I'd say probably the top 3 aquatics are gonna be like the hermit crab, this pale shell crab with bubble and sandstorm's really good, and then eh, probably the snapdragon. But he's not really like a you don't see him a lot. He's just fun to play with. I like him. Okay, we got looks like a blind pet, a lost limb, wrong breed, and no Melia. He's probably going for build turrets with Black Claw. Cool team. Sadly for him, I have 2 ways to get rid of his turrets if he's running them, so not a great matchup for him. I think I'll go for Wood Chipper, and he'll probably blind me, which means I can swap in and throw down a trap now. He can't blind it. Could have just sat and stayed, but yeah, I think Snap Trap is the move. It's annoying to fight. Okay, so he has hit me with a wind up. I can whack him with a maul. I think I'll do that. Okay, so there's the Black Claw. So he'll probably go for wind up, and then he might blind me. He can't hit me with anything, so I may as well stay in here. Okay, so he's going to swap. Well, maybe I should have brought my stone grinder instead of hitting him. Kind of a mind game. I just didn't expect the swap there, but I probably should have predicted it. He could go for a deflection, actually, to avoid the trap. That would be really smart of him. I'm going to go for Thunderbolt, and... Okay. Well, did not expect that. I expected the deflection. I'm going to go for cleanup. If he blinds me, I still sweep these abilities. And he didn't blind me. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know that I would have swept both of them. I suspect I would have, even though I had a 0% hit chance, but I actually didn't know, and I wanted to find out, so I'm kind of bummed out that he didn't go for the blind there. I mean, I'm not bummed out because now I'm going to win, but yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. He doesn't have wind up, so I could actually just kill him here. Does he go for the blind, maybe? Okay, so if he goes for... Yeah, I'm just going to go for the attack. Yeah, there's the blind. So I could either just stay in with Black Claw while I'm blinded and basically pass, or I could swap. That's a tricky one. Obviously not. It's obviously not tricky whatsoever. Alright. Grave Destruction. He might Deflection. That's totally fine. I get some AoE damage out. He's holding on to that Deflection. Maybe he has Build Rocket. Or Launch Rocket. I'm going to go for a Skull Toss. If he doesn't Deflection here, he's dead. Nomelia has like the worst matchup of all time versus the Stone Grinder because... Oh wait, no, for some reason I thought that was magic damage. No, but it's still a pretty bad matchup. As you can see, I'm just like destroying those turrets on cooldown. I'm going to save my health on Graves for later. Don't really need to play like super try hard. I'm probably ahead by like 5 turns, but... Alright, no deflection. We'll go ahead and clean up, get rid of that turret. I like Nomelia a lot. She's got a decoy breaker. She's great versus beasts, especially beasts with critter attacks, but her stats are kind of underwhelming. 273 speed is pretty useless. I mean, it's a little better than 260, but it's, yeah. That's the problem I've run into all the time with her is I'm just slower. And her moveset doesn't really require her to go fast, but like going first in PvP is always nice. Probably stun me or grip me, or he'll maybe just attack and... Yeah, I didn't expect that. Maybe that was a mind game and he thought I would swap. But he still probably should have went for that. Yeah, no, that's clearly a mind game. He thought I was going to swap. So if he death grips me, it'll bring in the Stone Grinder. I'm going to bring in Graves because he has to death grip me, and then my Stone Grinder can just kill him. If he doesn't death grip me, then I kill him with Grave Destruction. It's pick your poison. He had a cool team, but my team just had a good matchup to it. I mean, I had 2 ways to counter turrets, and turrets was the backbone of his team. He could have had a better Breed of the Lost Limb, but he still would have been screwed. But GG, he played well. There were some mind games that he tried to make, and some of them he won, some of them he lost. That last one there at the end kind of didn't help him out, but I see why he did it. He was pretty far behind. I have 3 pets, he has 1. He needs to hope that basically I mess up and swap when I don't need to for a chance for him to win. So how are we doing on teams so far? We got 2 games in. Tried recording earlier. It's just too boring. It's either like triple sunlight or triple sandstorm, and I'm hoping I don't queue into that, but if I do, I'll just counter him, I guess. I've been having so much trouble with this poor team. It's like 0-4 recently. And like I like the synergy here. I got Scorched Earth with Conflagrate. I got Stoke the Flames with Conflagrate. And Personal Inferno does extra damage. But I keep queuing into like triple Sandstorm or triple Sunlight. And the problem with this helpful workshop bot, he's okay versus Sandstorm. He's like a soft counter. But versus Sunlight, he's completely screwed because he takes extra damage from elemental attacks. He does weak damage to elementals with Personal Inferno. And they ignore the burning debuff from Scorched Earth. So not only do I do weak damage with Personal Inferno, but it doesn't deal double damage when I have Scorched Earth up because they don't count as burning because of their racial. And yeah, I mean, he's a fun pet, but he's definitely like a bit of a mid tier 2 pet. Where he's good, he's pretty all right, but he's not exactly a high tier pet or anything. And then the Silver Dragon Hawk hatchling is fun, but low attack power, so I'd say he's a middle of the road tier, maybe a high tier 1 pet, or sorry, a high tier 2 pet. You could argue he's high tier 2. Because he is fast, so he has decent like self synergy with his bird and his conflagrate. Okay, anomalous wind trader, great. Okay, so he's hoping that I'll quit, which I'm happy with because I don't intend to do that. I'll probably start with anomalous. I think I want to. Oh, I don't know actually. I think I'll start with the Pyre Claw. I could start with the Dragonhawk hatchling, but my Scorched Earth does strong damage to him. Do I want to go for... No, I want to go for Adrenaline Rush because if he goes for Toxic Fumes, I want to be faster and I want to change it on him right away. It looks like he might be running Void Nova. I'm going to go for a Great Sting. Just in case he's being weird and holding on to his Toxic Fumes. He's not letting me know what he has. That's annoying. I highly suspect he has Void Nova. I have a feeling. I'm going to go for Scorched Earth. I'm going to be annoyed if he has Toxic Fumes. Yeah, no, he has Void Nova. The reason I was suspecting he probably had... No, I think I'm dead actually here. Okay, I definitely am dead. Well, not a great start for me. Both of my pets are half health, and I've only taken out one of his. I think he's gonna bring in the mechanical next. Huh. I'm gonna bring in my mechanical. Um, so he might go for like a Call Lightning here. I think he will. I'm gonna go for Stoke the Flames, get a little bit of a heal out. If he goes for Fell Immolate, I'm in a lot of trouble. But now he went for the Call Lightning, and I predicted it. And changed the weather on him instantly. So he'll probably go for like a Haywire here. He might have Laser. If he has Fell Immolate, I would expect him to go for it here. But I'm not going to sit here and find out. I'm going to Warning. It's, yeah. So he's going for Lightning with Haywire. I can proc my Dragon Racial for Conflagrate. I think that's good. Yeah, I'm going to do that. He's already burning, but I think I'd rather hit him with a Dragon Racial Conflagrate. And if he has Laser, he does kill me. I need like a crit on this second Conflagrate. That would be nice. I don't know if my Helpful Workshop bot can 1v1 the Death Adder. Oh, I underestimated my Dragon Racial. That's nice. I still have my dragon. Do I save him for later? It would be nice to be faster. Yeah, I'm going to save him for later. I think that's kind of my only win con here. He wasted his blind, too. I feel like he should have just won. Well, now that I'm blinded, I have nothing better to do than heal. Okay. He has no blind now, so I'm going to hit him like for 600 damage. Yeah, he actually just dies to Scorched Earth. I feel like if he didn't blind there, he probably just wins. If he just went for like either of these two attacks, probably Poison Fang. Maybe he had to go for Puncture Wound to kill my Dragonhawk hatchling. Yeah, I should be okay. It's possible that Scorched Earth crits and kills me, but I don't think it will. All right. I don't know. Maybe I should have started with my Dragonhawk hatchling versus Anomalous, because that did not go very well for me to start with my Infernal Pyreclaw. That felt like a bad opener. But I mean, none of my pets are like insanely good versus Anomalous, so maybe I made the right call. It's it's possible I just deserve to lose in that matchup if he plays correctly, and I got lucky and he won. Or he threw. Um it's also a little bit of a mind game. Maybe he didn't expect the swap there. I don't think he would have blinded if he expected the swap. Let's pick a talent here. None of these look all that great. Well, powered radiance healing is increased by 15%. But evangelism gives me 2 instant cast radiances. Yeah, you probably have to run that in PvP. They nerfed ultimate radiance a lot. Used to be just like every radiance is instant cast. But I think that talent's still good. So how are we doing? Is that 3 games? 3-0? Barely won that last one. But I mean the teams are kind of fun, so I'll keep queuing. Any teams look fun. Got Anomalous win trading, and he's mad now, so I'm gonna pick something that's good versus Anomalous. I don't really like this team. It has 3 stuns. And it's somehow 2 and 4. Actually, I think that win rate is inaccurate. Rematch has been really buggy with tracking the win rate, so I suspect it's probably 3 and 3, but that's still pretty not great considering how try hard it looks. But this team does look like it would do very well versus Anomalous. All 3 of these pets are not fun for Anomalous to fight. I could start with the Blazehound, swap him out. He can't juke it because it brings in the highest health pet, which will never be Anomalous. Traps are no fun for him. Sandstorm's no fun for him. If I really wanted to like hard counter this guy, I would probably play like this team, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get him. Um, I don't necessarily need to have the most OP team to beat him. I just beat him with whatever random pets I was just using before, the helpful workshop bot. Um, huh. Mr. Delver. Not great versus the snake because he has the 341 speed, but I mean, I still do strong damage to him. How do I feel about this team? It's 4-1. Ooh, this team is 4-0. Ow. This team is not that good looking. I mean, it's got some decent synergy, but I don't have a single weather changer. Huh. Snapdragon Pep is faster than. Hey, this team's 4-0. Let's play it again. I think my coffee's ready, so I'm gonna go pour that while I sit in queue. I miss the old version of Rematch. I don't think it used to bug with tracking wins. And I liked I liked the little, like, it would track your win percentage instead of your actual, like, it would, instead of saying like 3 and 0, it'd say 100%. I liked being able to see my win percentage. I mean, there might be like an option to turn it on, but I just wish it was default. Team win record options, hide win record text. Yeah, I don't see anything for, wait, display win loss. Oh, 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 never mind. Well, nah, I still don't like this. There was like, it was a nice, clean looking little like bar where if you had like above 50%, it would be like a green bar and then be a red bar. It just looked better. I was watching some old videos by Daniel from Close to Zero, and I was noticing how much nicer his rematch looks than the new version. Also, it wasn't bugging, and like for some reason, whenever the opponent like forfeits, rematch tracks it as like a draw or sometimes a loss, even though it's a win, like end game, which is annoying. Because then I'm looking at my teams and going, oh man, I lost a bunch with this team, and in reality, I actually like this team. I'm fairly certain that this last game was, what did I fight? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a very fair fight, but I definitely won it, and I am like 99% certain I was 2 and 3 before, so I should be 3 and 3 now. But I wasn't trying to fight a family brawler team with it. I was trying to snipe one of these two teams, this triple darkness, triple sandstorm, or triple sunlight, because they were spam queuing. I've gotten that triple sandstorm guy like 10 times today. Okay, so we got the same guy. I feel like his team should win, but see if he makes some mistakes here. Do I start with the Violent Poultry or Mr. Delver? I'm not sure. I'm going to start with Mr. Delver. He could juke the swap, at which point it would have been obviously better for me to start with a Violent Poultry. I suspect he will not. These wind traders aren't very sophisticated players. So he's going to go for Call Lightning. I think it's fine for my Mr. Delver to eat that. It does buff my turrets, actually. Now, do I stay in and eat the Haywire? Yeah, I don't know. I think it feels bad to sacrifice Mr. Delver here, but I just don't think he's that useful versus the Death Adder because, like, he's slower. So I think it's better. Maybe I should have just started with the Violent Poultry. I don't know. I'm kind of regretting starting with Mr. Delver now, but yeah. I mean, we traded. Now it's a 2v2. Do I think I win this 2v2? No, I do not. I don't think I win this 2v2, but I could be wrong. I am faster on the Snapdragon. We can take advantage of that Call Lightning, hit him with Whirling Talons. As far as I recall, he runs Void Nova. And then the good news is I'm faster than Anomalous with my Violent Pultrid after I lose my Flying Racial. We actually kill Anomalous because the turret was doing so much damage under Lightning. So I still have my Flying Racial. It looks like I was totally wrong. Yeah, I was fine. He would have been a much scarier opponent if he had Toxic Fumes to change the weather. Or if he juked the hammer. Alright, well that was fairly straightforward actually. Didn't require any fancy swapping on my end. I just basically stayed in and won the game. I kind of want to queue the same the same team and try starting with the Violent Poultry to see if it goes any better or worse. I like this team a lot. It's a little bit risky for me to just... I almost never do this. I almost never queue the same team back to back because a lot of the time I'm asking the my opponent to counter me. But if I get him again, I actually want to test the matchup and start with the Poultrid and then see if it goes any better or any worse, because that went really well. Like, way better than I thought it would. Okay, he looks like he might be the same guy, but he's trying to counter me. I'm not sure why I picked this team to counter me, though. That's a weird team. Maybe he is aware of something I am not, but I don't feel like that's a particularly scary team for this team. He's probably going to start with the Koonchong. I think I should start with Mr. Delver. I do strong damage to him. I get free damage out with a hammer. Now, I don't know if I want to stay in on Mr. Delver. That does not seem like it might be all the best idea. Let me think. So build turret seems worth pressing. He's just going to go for Dreadful Breath. Is it better for me to stay in or to bring in the Violent Poultrid? Aw. I think it's better for me to stay in. I have to remember every time I swap, I'm basically passing my turn. So unless I'm like getting a super hugely advantageous matchup, it's probably not worth it. Especially when he's doing a bunch of AoE, passing is really not good. I want to go ahead and go for a batter. I might be able to swap him out on his undead round. It looks like I will. This does 139. Hammer does 154. Nice. If he stays in. I just procced his undead racial and swapped him to the back line, which is great. Now, does build turret matter here? Do I just go for batters? If he has shell armor, build turret is really bad. I think what I'm going to do is go for batter. I suspect he has puncture wound. 90% of Koonchong hatchlings have it. But what if he's being a weirdo and he's trying to counter me with shell armor? Actually, batter does so much damage. It kills him in one more turn if I get a triple. So yeah, batter was the move here. Nice. So if he had shell armor, it didn't work out for him. Looks like he's just trying to AoE me down, so he's probably going to go for like a Thunderbolt here. We might have Slither. Yeah, he might actually have Slither. He has the power balance breed. I'm gonna go for batter. If he goes for Slither, then my batter is gonna be pretty useless. It's actually doing so much AoE damage to me. I'm a little scared. Okay, go for another batter. It looks like he's probably running dive, but he's running the wrong breed. So I should be just fine. I'll just go for a batter here. Maybe he has Slither and he's holding on to it. That's always possible. But I feel like he would have probably pressed it by now if he had it. Fortunately, it doesn't work like... see how much damage. 420. Swirling Talons for style. Alright, so we didn't end up needing our Snapdragon. But yeah, if he had if these abilities like Squeeze and Slither worked like Quicksand, they would be so much better. Quicksand is like insanely better because it's like a field effect. So if you kill somebody with Quicksand, then the next pet that's swapped in still is slowed by 50%, whereas Squeeze is like it doesn't apply if they swap or you know what I mean. Yeah. Anyways, I might call it there. It's like 5 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've only played 4 teams, though. Let me pick one more team. I'll go for one more win. Because I did only play 4 teams. I just played this team twice. It's doing great. It's kind of asking to queue into like triple sandstorm because I have no weather changer, but right now the teams are actually pretty fun, so I'll try to pick one more team to win with, and if it loses, I'll just try to pick something else. I'm glad these win traders are staying to fight. Okay, so Snapdragon. Now we have a weather changer. Let me think. So versus the Death Adder. Yeah, this team should be just fine. I'm gonna play with it. What is it at? It's at 2-0. See if we can get it to 3-0. It's got some. I mean, the Nightshade Sproutling's a really good pet. He's not fun for Anomalous to fight, which is why I'm picking him. Because I expect I'll probably get another Anomalous player. Nightshade Sproutling's great versus Anomalous, and he's decent versus Sandstorm pets. Not great versus Karages, but all other Sandstorm pets are not going to have a fun time fighting the Nightshade Sproutling, because he can potentially blind their Sandstorm, he can change the weather on them. He can't miss, they can. I'd say Karaji and Living Sandling aren't going to care too much about the Nightshade Sproutling, but they're still not going to have a great time. And then if I queue into those, I have the Snapdragon to do strong damage to the Sandling. I mean, it's not a good matchup because I still take like 90% of my HP from one Sandstorm. But I'm not planning to let that happen. I'll either try to dive it or soak it with Dibbler if I can. And then I like Dibbler because if I queue into that Death Adder, deal strong damage to him, I'm nice and tanky, and I have the drill charge to finish him off. Which under lightning versus a mechanical, versus a beast like the Death Adder, that would actually be insane damage. What I wish if anybody has an add-on, by the way, that's working for this, there used to be an add-on called let's see, Pet Battle Stats, I believe, or Battle Pet Battle Stats, something like that. Yeah, Battle Pet Battle Stats, and let's see it here, Battle Pet Battle Stats. Basically, what it would do is when you're in a fight, it would show, like, the part that I cared about is it would show what health percentage each pet was at. So if you're fighting a magic pet and you're not quite sure if they're below 35% HP or not, you could just check the add-on. And that add-on's been broken for a long time, even though I have it enabled. And it looks like it's updated. I have it right here. It looks like it's working. I don't know if there's another add-on that I have that's like conflicting with it and breaking it, or if the add-on is just like outdated and doesn't work anymore. But this add-on, I'm fairly sure, used to show health percentages for pets, which is mostly useful if you're fighting magic pets like Anomalous, so that I know, okay, if I swap, I can just kill him with one, like, say, a Call Lightning or something. And I don't have to worry about him surviving with 2% HP, and I don't have to pull out a calculator. But it's also situationally useful if you're using, like a, I think it's called Predatory Strike. There's moves like this that deal double damage if the target's below 25% HP, or like that last pet, the Skittering Eel, has Swallow You Whole. Does double damage if they're below 25% HP. So there's situations where it's actually really nice to know, like, what percentage health are they at, for making like important decisions. It's mostly just useful versus like Anomalous or Shady Murgleton, or like low health magic pets that have like like if you want to know, are they 36% HP and they're going to survive if I swap to hit them with like a one shot, or would it be better off for me to just stay in and just hit them twice and let them get their 2 attacks off? So if anybody knows an add-on that works for that. Oh my goodness, we got a Root Stinger Anomalous player. This Petal guy. Okay, this is going to be a scary team. I don't know if I can win. If I was him, I would start with the Root Stinger. And I think he just wins if he plays correctly, but do my best. I'm going to start with the Nightshade Sproutling in case he's dumb and starts with Anomalous. Nope, he started with the Root Stinger. He is not dumb. So I can... I'm going to go for Call Darkness. Okay, that was not the play. Why on earth would you do that? He's already misplayed. Why? That has to have been a misplay. Why on earth would you press Enrage? You're supposed to go for Great Sting first and then Enrage. So I just blinded his Great Sting and took out his Flying Racial. This guy should never win with this, or I should never win with my team versus his team if he plays correctly. This Petal's kind of a weird pet, but it actually is a very dangerous cleanup pet because he has this ability that reduces my entire. It's basically Temporal Anomaly, but it's Temporal Anomaly and it breaks Decoy. Anyways, he's doing everything in his power to throw this game. He's just sacrificed his Flying Racial and done everything in the wrong order here. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well. Damn. I don't want to play again just to like counter him, but that's a tough team to beat. So let's look at this Petal pet. That's a weird third. Usually you'll see it like you'll see that team with like Indigo or maybe an MPD or something. But this pet is dangerous as a cleanup pet because he has this Sticky Surge ability. He's the only pet with it. So it looks like cleanup. It destroys Decoy instantly. And then after Decoy, it applies Temporal Anomaly basically to your entire team. So that's really scary because he's already 297 speed. So he's going to be outspeeding most pets. In fact, I think 297 speed's enough speed where with that ability, he's actually going to be faster than even the Lost Quill. So he's pretty much going to be faster than everything. He's got like a short cooldown heal, and then he's probably just running Ooze Touch to burn me down. And once if he, his team is basically like it's basically this team, but with Petal as the third cleanup pet. And if I were to mirror match him right now, he would probably win. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to start with the Gorm, Great Sting, and then Enrage buffs the entire duration of Great Sting. And then you could one-shot somebody with Puncture Wound, or if they have a way to avoid it, you just swap to Anomalous, Toxic Fumes, Protocol, and then stay in an Anomalous till he's dead, get out a second Great Sting, and you've done so much AoE damage that pretty much any pet here is just going to clean up whatever's left. Petal is a weird choice, but he would definitely be able to beat me if he played that team correctly, so might try my luck at countering that team because it's not easy to counter these two together. Even like Sandstorm, like double Sandstorm, loses a lot to this combo just because of it does such insane AoE damage. It doesn't matter that you have Sandstorm out, and he has a Weather Changer. If I were to play this team versus him, I am not confident it would win. I could test it, but I'm not gonna right now. Plus, at this point, he's probably got somebody else. If I queue this team, I'm likely to get somebody else anyways, but if he starts spamming this team, I might actually just try fighting it with different teams to see what does well versus it, because that's a really, really overpowered combo. Great Sting plus Anomalous, and then it's the Enrage that just makes it just so much damage because it buffs like, so you use Great Sting and then you use Enrage, and so it buffs that round of Great Sting and it buffs the next round of Great Sting, plus they're poisoned. So if you hit someone with Puncture Wound, it's like it's like 12 to 1300 damage. Because it does double damage with Puncture Wound, and it does quadruple damage with Enrage and a Poison. So it's like, not only is it a one-shot, but it's insane AoE damage that, like, Sandstorm alone does not mitigate enough. Maybe, like, power pets with Sandstorm, but then he's going to be faster. That is a scary team. I'm surprised. Well, I mean, all he had to do was just not press Enrage at the beginning. I got very lucky. So yeah, I'm gonna call it there. The video's getting long enough. See you on the next one.